In the heart of the ancient kingdom of Elam, where humans and mermaids once lived side by side, there was a prophecy so powerful it bound two worlds together. A prophecy that demanded the Water King's first wife must bear a son, a child destined to unite land and sea. But what happens when prophecy turns into a prison? Queen Kami, graceful and wise, carried this burden. Year after year, her womb stayed empty. And with every passing season, whispers turned into cruel laughter. Her co-wives mocked her. Even the human women sneered at her, calling her the Barren Mermaid. She was royalty, yet treated like nothing. But one night, when despair seemed to drown her, something happened on the lonely shore that no one saw coming. Something that would shake two kingdoms, tear apart tradition, and reveal a truth deeper than the ocean itself. Before we dive into this powerful tale, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss more incredible African folktales. And hey, share this story with a friend, because tales like this remind us all of love, courage, and destiny. Once upon a time in the ancient kingdom of Elam, humans and mermaids lived in an uneasy balance. Their alliance was not built on pure love or trust, but on survival. The mermaids, with their mastery of the waters, calmed storms and filled the nets with fish. The humans, in return, offered livestock, grain, and soldiers to guard the sea folk from invaders. At the heart of this fragile peace was a prophecy. The oracle of the sea had once declared, "The first wife of the Water King must bear a son. That son will marry the human princess, and their union will keep both kingdoms safe." For generations, this single prophecy held the two worlds together. But prophecies are heavy things. They do not just promise, they demand. And the burden of this prophecy fell on one woman, Queen Kami, the first wife of King Odamodu, ruler of the Water Kingdom. Queen Kami was everything a queen should be. She was wise, graceful, and beloved by many. Her voice soothed disputes. Her presence brought dignity to the court. Yet all of this beauty and wisdom was overshadowed by one cruel reality. She could not conceive a child. Year after year, she tried. Year after year, she failed. And with each barren season, the whispers grew louder. At first, they were quiet murmurs in the palace halls. Then they became gossip among the co-wives. Soon the insults spilled out into the open air. "Look at her, the barren queen," they sneered. One of her co-wives, Izama, would even sing mocking songs while dancing with her little girl. Ensuring the sting cut deep, but it wasn't only the mermaids. Even human women mocked her when she walked the shore. With swollen bellies, they laughed cruelly, saying, "What use is a queen who cannot bring forth life? Open your legs and save our kingdoms, or are you too cursed?" Can you imagine it? To be royalty, draped in jewels and honor, yet treated like a failure every single day. To carry the weight of two kingdoms' hopes and still be shamed as if she were nothing. King Odamodu, once her loving husband, grew distant too. Desperation hardened him. He took other wives, searching for the son the prophecy demanded. Each time one of them gave birth, Queen Kami's heart broke a little more. She watched their children play, each laughter reminding her of her own emptiness. The palace, once her home, became a prison of whispers. And the shore became her only refuge. There, at the edge of the waves, she would sit alone, her tears swallowed by the sea foam, her sobs hidden by the roaring tide. Night after night, she begged the gods of the sea, "Please, bless me. Please let me not be the reason to kingdoms collapse. Lift this curse from me." But the gods remained silent. The waves rolled on, indifferent. Meanwhile, in the human kingdom, Princess Adesio prepared for her own destiny. She too was trapped by the prophecy. Though young and compassionate, she knew her fate was already sealed. She was to marry the son that Queen Kami was supposed to bear. Without him, she would remain unmarried, and the fragile alliance between land and sea would unravel. Adesio often looked at Queen Kami during royal meetings. She did not see a barren failure. She saw a woman crushed beneath chains of tradition. One day she whispered to her maid, Why can't they leave her alone? Don't they see she already carries a burden heavier than the sea? But Adisea's gentle voice was drowned by the pressure of the people. Without a prophecy child, everyone feared war, famine, and chaos. Tension rose between the kingdoms. And at the center of it all was Queen Kami, mocked by her co-wives, despised by the humans, abandoned by her king, and left alone with her sorrow. The nights grew colder, the whispers harsher. And yet, Queen Kami endured. Every evening she returned to the shore. Every evening she let the stars bear witness to her pain. But what happens when a heart so heavy finally finds someone who sees it? What happens when the Barren Mermaid, mocked by all, stumbles upon a soul who does not laugh, but listens? Because one evening, just as she thought she could cry no more, a sound rustled in the bushes behind her. And what Queen Kami found that night would change everything. That night, as Queen Kami sat weeping by the shore, she heard the sound of branches cracking behind her. She froze, her heart racing. Slowly, a figure emerged, a man with a fishing net slung across his shoulder. His steps halted when he saw her, and for a moment, silence hung in the air, broken only by the whisper of the waves. "It is just me," the man stammered nervously. "I didn't mean to intrude." His name was Chinadu, a fisherman known in the village for his quiet, solitary ways. He had come to the shore to escape his own grief, the loss of his wife, leaving him to raise their young daughter alone. Queen Kami almost turned away. But then she saw something in his eyes. Unlike the mocking stares she endured daily, his gaze held no judgment, only kindness. "Are you the one who cries here every night?" Chinadu asked softly. "Why do you weep so deeply?" Kami hesitated, but something inside her cracked open. "Because I am broken," she whispered, "and the world will never let me forget it." Chinadu sat down on the sand, setting aside his net. "No," he said gently, "you are not broken. You are only carrying a weight too heavy for you alone." That night, for the first time in years, Kami felt truly seen. She returned to the shore the next evening, and the evening after that. Slowly, their conversations grew longer. Chinadu shared his struggles, the nights he fought to keep his daughter fed, the silence left behind by his wife's death. Kami listened with tender eyes. And in return, she opened her heart, telling him of her barrenness, her pain, and the prophecy that shackled her. To her surprise, Chinadu never flinched. He never called her cursed. To him, she was not a failed queen, not a prophecy gone wrong. She was simply a woman, wounded, but still whole. Soon, Chinadu brought his little daughter Enkechi to meet her. The child, wide-eyed and curious, stared at Kami. "Are you a water spirit?" she asked, shyly. Kami smiled and took her tiny hands. "Something like that," she said. And in that small, innocent moment, something stirred inside her. A flicker of hope. Their bond deepened night after night. And then one fateful evening, Kami surrendered to what she had been denied for so long: love. Chinadu held her as if she were not a barren queen, but a woman worthy of tenderness. For the first time in years, she felt alive. Weeks passed, then came the change. Her body shifted, her heart raced with suspicion and wonder. Could it be? Could the barren queen be carrying life at last? Indeed, she was pregnant. The joy she felt was shadowed by fear. If anyone discovered her secret, it would mean ruin for her, for Chinadu, and perhaps for both kingdoms. She tried to hide it, staying away from the shore. But secrets like waves cannot be held back forever. One night, Izuma, her jealous co-wife, followed her quietly. And what she saw filled her with cruel delight. Queen Kami, embracing Chinadu, her hand protectively over her growing belly. By dawn, the entire palace knew. King Otomodu was furious. When Kami was dragged before him, he thundered, "Have you betrayed me? You defied the gods in this prophecy?" "My king," Kami pleaded, her voice shaking, "I have done nothing but endure. For years you despised me, mocked me, abandoned me. All I wanted was to be loved." Her words were cut short by a sharp slap. silence. You have disgraced me, shamed this kingdom, and spat on the prophecy. You and that fisherman will pay dearly. She was beaten despite her condition and locked away in a cold chamber. Word spread quickly. The human king, enraged, declared the sacred alliance broken and swore to punish Chinadu as a traitor. But love has a way of rebelling against chains. Princess Adesio, the human princess bound by the prophecy, could not bear to watch. She visited Chinadu secretly. Together, they plotted to rescue Kami from her cruel fate. One night, under the cover of darkness, Chinadu crept into the underwater palace. With the skill of a fisherman who knew the tides, he freed her. Carrying her fragile body, he swam away, and the three of them, Chinadu, Kami, and little Nkechi, fled to a faraway village where no one knew them. There, by the river's edge, they built a humble life. Chinadu fished. Kami cared for Nkechi as if she were her own. And then, on a stormy evening, Kami went into labor. After hours of pain, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy, half human, half mermaid. They named him Namdi. Far away, King Otomato waited for a son that never came. None of his other wives bore him a child. Weak and broken, he whispered in his final days, "I should have loved her. I should have stood by her." Children belong to the gods, not to men's demands. May she forgive me. And with regret heavy in his heart, he died childless. But Kami's life had blossomed. Her love with Chinadu grew, their family flourished, and their story became a lesson carried down through generations. That true strength lies not in tradition or prophecy, but in love. That children are gifts, not guarantees. And that even the Barren Mermaid, once mocked and broken, could rise to create a legacy stronger than two kingdoms.